You're listening to the Cyclone on J360 Radio. With your hosts, Dev and Al. Jay has entered the Cyclone.
Well, good evening, everybody of the J360 Legion. How are you all doing today? You know, since it's a bit early to talk about the J-Man Show episode 22, and I know some of y'all can't wait for that, I'm currently reviving another J360 property, aka the Cyclone. While I won't be starring into this show per se, what I'm going to do is I'm going to reintroduce you all to Al and Dev. All right, and what is it, Dev? What do you want?
So what are we talking about today?
Do we do the Cyclone first or last?
Nope, you guys are going to go ahead and do your Cyclone right now because we have 43 minutes left in the show. So I want you guys to go ahead and use your 15 to 30 minutes right now. So I'm going to slide it over to the Cyclone guys, and I'll be back for like the last 15 minutes. See y'all.
All right, cool. So pretty much let's talk playoffs.
Yeah.
I don't think basketball-wise is really going on.
So,
Unless
the draft happens Thursday.
Yeah, draft is this Thursday. Is it in Philly this year?
I have no idea on it. I think it is.
Yeah, I think I wanted to go. But I'm like, it's Philly. The tickets are probably really high. I'm going to pass.
I don't want to go on the bad part of Philly, honestly. I was there one time, and yeah.
It didn't turn out so well?
Okay, I'm going to tell you my experience I had in Philly. So I went down there. This was a few years ago. Probably longer than that, but we were going to a New Found Glory concert. I think it was like New Found Glory, Isley, and Reggie in the Full Effect. So I go down there. We're on this weird part of Philly. And we pull over, and I literally see a guy punching a woman in a car.
Ooh.
And I didn't have a cell phone then, so we went to like a payphone and dialed 911 and reported it and just drove as fast as we could to get the fuck out of there.
Smart man.
So, anyways, so for the playoffs, I'm going to bring it up now. I saw the Bucks game last night. I was really disappointed.
Why?
No, in the Bucks, they just did not show up.
Well, here's my thing. Who is it against? Off the top of my head.
The Raptors.
Raptors. Well, you got to think about it. The Raptors are a slow start team. Like, what is it? Game 4 now?
We're going to go to Game 6 now.
Game 6. Oh, I'm really behind. Jeez.
So yeah, we're at 5. Raptors are up 3-2.
Yeah. So Raptors, it's been noted historically since the last 2 years. They're a slow start team. You'll get 2 games up on them, but don't ever get comfortable because once that team gets the ball, they're like a small snowball. It's just a snowball thing. Once they get rolling, it's really hard to get them to stop, unless you're the Cavs. Because then, unless you have the firepower, which unfortunately the Bucks don't right now, because a lot of their firepower is underdeveloped. Besides Giannis and maybe Chris Middleton. Besides, outside of those
I make a case for Brogdon, though. Brogdon's pretty good.
50-50. You can make a case for him, but I still feel like he needs a little more time into his game to get that done. But with that being said, like, once, like, Toronto gets rolling and Kyle Lowry's on, DeMar DeRozan's hitting those tough jumpers, those Kobe-like jumpers he likes to hit so much, and then, Serge Ibaka goes in, plays his solid minutes. You got Bismack Biyombo coming in with solid minutes. Then you got what's the big guy's name? European guy. Like an old school, huh?
Ibaka?
No. He's like an old school pick and roll guy. They drafted him. He has a really long last name.
I don't know. In my opinion, though, there was no reason why they did not put Spencer Hawes in that game. That was stupid. Very stupid.
It's a coaching error. Because you could say the same thing that why is Boston losing to Chicago?
Series is tied right now. But now, I'm sorry. This is honestly how I feel. Thon Maker had no business starting.
Thon Maker he's a rookie. Like, I'm not starting him. Yes, he has a lot of potential. Yes, he could be a valuable asset down the line. And that team is long as hell. They are super long. That team should get an award for like lankiest team in the league. They remind me of the 2009 Lakers when they had Ron Artest, Derek Fisher, Kobe Bryant, Pau Gasol, Lamar Odom. That team was really long. That reminds me of that team. Just how long they were with length. Like, they could suffocate you on defense when they would get ready. And if that Bucks team learns how to play defense, like learns how to rotate, calls out screens, moves, like calls out the screens on the pick and roll, that team can suffocate you on defense.
I agree with that completely. No, like I'm looking at the box score for the game right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. They started too many of the rookies. Brogdon should not have had 33 minutes.
Nah, that's too many minutes for a rook. I don't, unless he's like playing, like, you know, a Derrick Rose type of first year. Well, maybe not even that. Unless he had like
Jason Terry needed more minutes.
Yes and no.
He played for 5 minutes in the game.
Okay, I would give Jason Terry 15 minutes. A solid 15 minutes.
Yeah, I thought he was like the other sixth guy other than Monroe, you know.
Yeah. How much minutes did Monroe play?
Monroe played 22.
Okay.
Which is okay. Yeah. That's okay.
Yeah, that's around his average. Yeah,
but you know what's crazy? Dellavedova didn't even start.
Why would you though? Why? He's good in spurts, but
They started Tony Snell over him.
That's hard.
This is a really weird lineup. I don't like this at all. No wonder they just couldn't keep up.
But now it's not the time to play with lineups. You know your lineups. You got to know them. And I don't think now is the time to play with them, to be honest.
Yeah, it's playoff time. It's a completely different absence. I'll tell you the starters for the Bucks for that game. It was Brogdon, Snell, Thon Maker, Giannis, Middleton. Middleton and, Giannis, obviously starters. Brogdon, yes. Snell, questionable. And Thon Maker, no. I would have started. I don't get why they're not using Spencer Hawes. That guy is actually a defensive guy. He's a center, can shoot the long ball. Thon Maker can't shoot.
No. He doesn't have a developed jumper. Like he has a pretty okay handle. He's smart off the pick and roll, but he's not a shooter. He reminds me of Giannis when he first came out. Not a shooter. When Giannis first came out his rookie year, I seen a lot of shots he made. He had the potential, but it wasn't falling down. It wasn't going down. But
I'm looking at this. Who's their offense other than Giannis and Middleton?
Well, if you look at most of the stats leading in the series, he's leading in multiple. He's leading 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 5 different categories in the series. Honestly.
Who, Thon?
Like, no. Giannis.
Yeah.
He's leading in 5 different categories stat-wise in the series. He is the offense. He's the quintessential point guard without being the point guard. He is like today's, point forward.
So, in my opinion, though, Dellavedova should have started over Snell. That was a mistake.
Okay, I'll give you that. That I'll definitely give to you.
And I'd make a case for Henson or Hawes starting over Maker. I like Thon Maker. I think he has potential, but he's
not
good
that
off the
many
bench.
minutes. You got to bring him in slow. You got to do the Brandon Ingram effect. Like let him come off the bench, let him kind of work into it. But you can't play this kid heavy playoff minutes. The playoffs is a different animal within itself. You can't just sit there and just play the kid heavy minutes. He's gonna struggle. He's gonna hit a wall. But let's not stay on this series too much because we only have 15. So,
all right. So let's go to the other ones. Well,
we'll start with let's go Washington, Atlanta real quick because that series at 2-2 right now.
To be honest, I don't know who's gonna win the series.
I got Washington. I want to pick Washington on this one.
No, I remember telling my friend when we were doing our playoff predictions. There's a part of me that thinks the Hawks will win, but I really do like the aspect that Washington has Brandon Jennings on it, which was a very smart pickup.
It definitely helps. I don't know why New York let him go because D Rose was going to get banged up, and they knew that.
No, Jennings wanted to go. He knew this team was falling. He knew New York was falling apart, but
yeah, true, very true. I mean, not a lot of people want to stay with the Knicks, but so all right, I got Washington, you got Atlanta. So
actually, I know I'm picking Washington. Are you kidding me?
You're going Washington? Okay, because I like the backcourt of Bill and Wall too much, and I feel like they, at the end of the day, can seal the deal. While on Atlanta, you got to think who's going to seal the deal for Atlanta. Like who's their go-to in the clutch?
Well, Dwight Howard will do his disappearing act.
Yeah, exactly. He's done that. He's done that in the '09 finals for my team. He'll do it once he'll do it again. At this point, we know what Dwight Howard is. He's a pick and roll guy, not much of a post game, cut straight to the basket, plays off athleticism, kind of a dominant presence on the defensive end, but not what he used to be. It's kind of what he is at this point. That's why he couldn't get it done in Houston. Like, why do you think Houston let him go?
Like, and Golden State swept. Was anybody shocked?
Not at all. Think about it. Golden State is too good. C.J. McCollum and Damian Lillard, as good as they are, don't play enough defense, and they don't have enough firepower to run with these guys. If they stole a game in Portland, I would give them maybe a game in Portland if the right chain of effects happen at the right time for them to steal a game.
They didn't even have Kevin Durant, and they still destroyed them. So the second,
look at it. All right, sorry to cut you off, but look at it like this, right? Golden State minus Kevin Durant and Steph Curry goes off. Now you got to guard that guy from 30 feet out, and Damian Lillard's tired on the defensive end because he has to guard that guy. Then he has to score 30-plus points on the offensive end. C.J. McCollum has to chip in. And if Nurkic doesn't do enough, then, you know what I'm saying, their bigs are useless. Evan Turner was a wasted number 2 pick who's now a okay-ish role player. And mind you, they got a lot of these guys for the cheap. So the fact they're getting any production out of them is beyond me. But I said all that to say this. You take Kevin Durant out, they still have enough firepower to put these guys away. Like,
well, the problem is
Kevin Durant in, now it's just even more overwhelmingly bad for Portland.
I actually stand by this. If the Cavs and the Warriors do meet up, I do think the Cavs will win in the finals.
It depends.
But the Cavs need to learn to play defense, so that's.
I don't like the way the Cavs are looking right now. I don't see them beating them soundly. I see if they do, they're edging this one out like they did last year.
Well, LeBron is turning it up. LeBron's
turning it up. But
I don't know, man.
LeBron, okay, in order for LeBron to win this, he has to have the game he had last year. His jumper has to be on, because we all know LeBron can get to the basket when he wants. You can still win against LeBron even if he's getting to the basket. But if his jumper's off and Kyrie's not really on, Kevin Love's not really hitting, they're going to struggle. The Warriors can blow them out the gym. Now, Draymond, I don't know how many flagrants he has. They got to keep on that, because if I'm the Cavs, I'm going to try to use that to my favor. Like last year, it just happened to work in their favor. So you got to hope Draymond stays under control and doesn't get suspended for, a game in the finals, catching flagrants and whatnot. So we don't know. But I think the Warriors could definitely beat them this year. Hands down. I'm saying you're going 6.
Maybe. We'll have to see.
I'm saying Warriors in 6. It can go in 7, but I think the Warriors can get it in 6.
I think I would pick the Cavaliers in 6, honestly.
All right.
With Steve Kerr being injured, he's not even going to be the head coach anymore.
He might. It's speculated. It's not for certain yet. But like I said, he doesn't have bad assistant coaches to kind of do their thing.
It's Mike Brown, which kind of scares me though, because Mike Brown knows LeBron James.
It is. Yes, it is Mike Brown. And Mike Brown knows. LeBron knows Mike Brown's tendencies, but I don't know. If I'm Steve Kerr, I don't know. If I could stick it on the sideline, I will. But all right, let's move over to Clippers, Utah. Clippers.
The Lakers are in the playoffs?
Sorry. I wish. The way the Clippers playing, the Lakers might as well play in the playoffs. But all right, Clippers, Utah. I'm taking Utah on this one.
No, Utah's gonna win it all. Not win this series, because without Griffin. Yeah, you're screwed.
Oh, they lost Griffin?
Yeah, he's out for the playoffs.
What? Oh, yeah, well, it's equal opportunity because Gobert is out. Rudy Gobert is done.
I know, but other than Chris Paul, who do they have?
That Chris Paul is their offense. Blake Griffin isn't. Well, listen, they've played better without Blake Griffin. Now, they're not going to beat the Warriors because the Warriors are pretty much the Clippers have been the Warriors' punching bag for a couple of years. Even though they don't like each other, it's not even a rivalry, because the Clippers never win against them. But if they do happen to get out the series, which I doubt they will, because the Clippers have had the worst luck in the playoffs, like getting injured at the wrong time. Blake gets injured in the playoffs. They always
have the worst luck. There was that controversy of the former owner. Right during the playoffs. everything bad happens.
I'm saying I don't know. Okay, so you're Doc Rivers, right? You're the GM head coach. Do you blow this team up or do you stick with it?
My honest opinion,
Honest opinion.
I'd blow it up.
Okay.
The reason why is I can't see them like if they don't get it all this year, they'll never get it.
Okay. All right. Say you look up and get to the Western Conference Finals. Do you blow it up then?
No.
Okay.
But I trade some pieces and try to get a star or overspend and get a
Do you
star.
trade Blake Griffin?
No.
Who do you trade then? Because you don't have a bench.
No, or you go all in free agency and try to find like the best aspiring free agent that you can find.
But
You need another star.
Okay, you have DeAndre Jordan, you have Blake Griffin, you have Chris Paul, you have Jamal Crawford, and
Who is that guy? Who is that guy on the Jazz that's really good?
Are we talking Rudy Gobert, Gordon Hayward?
Gordon Hayward. I would go after Gordon Hayward.
Okay, here's my thing about Gordon Hayward. I don't see Gordon Hayward going to LA. I would more see him going to Boston before LA. Now, mind you, Boston is a surprisingly underwhelming number one seed. Like outside of,
But why would you need? But why would he go to Boston when Boston has Isaiah Thomas?
Well, because you can be the starting three there. Like there's no, and you'll be the guy undoubtedly. Like you'll be, and they'll actually have 2 stars now.
So what are they going to do with Marcus Smart then?
Listen, have him come off the bench for defense because if you last time I checked, Isaiah Thomas isn't guarding anybody to extreme importance.
I don't know. I thought Marquise Smart was going to be like the biggest steal of the draft. I actually thought he should have been a top 5 pick.
I'm not going to lie. I liked him defensively. I thought he was Gary Payton-esque coming out of Oklahoma.
By the way, I noticed something too about that Bucks game too. I'm sorry to bring this back.
Oh no, go ahead.
Gary Payton II did not play a single minute in that game.
Well, listen. My thing about Gary Payton II is he's a journeyman. He's been in the D League. He went to the same.
So what was his father?
Which I wouldn't have done. Yeah, I wouldn't have done that personally.
His father started in the D League.
Huh?
Gary Payton. He started in the D League.
Yeah.
To develop his craft.
Oh, he did really?
Yeah.
I didn't know they had a D League back then.
They did. I don't know if it was actually the official NBA D League, but Gary Payton himself said his son needs to go to the D League to develop craft, to perfect his game, because that's what he did.
True. I mean, I don't know if he'll be as good as the biggest star, but listen, the kid has potential. He's on an NBA roster. I don't know if he's going to be as big as his dad, but I personally wouldn't have went to the same school because I'd have to see my dad's jersey in the Raptors like every day when I go in the gym, and I'd rather make a legacy of my own. But that's just me personally. Like for my son personally, if I played like I was really big at something, and he's going to go do it, I'm like, kind of make your own niche and be yourself. Instead of like trying to be me, like you can only be you. But let's not. All right, so let's hit another game. Houston's obviously going to be Oklahoma City. There's no doubt about that. But who do you have for MVP?
MVP, without question, it's going to be with Russell Westbrook.
I want to give it to Harden. I really want to. Like he has met all the criteria to be MVP. Top 3 in the West. His team's playing good. He has like a double-double this year. Average a double-double this year. Playing a new position. He's made all his teammates better. Like he took a bunch of B-, B+ guys. And they're wreaking havoc in the Western Conference.
The thing with the Rockets, they do have solid players outside of Harden. The thing is with the Thunder,
let's be honest. Let's be honest. Nobody wanted Eric Gordon, right? Because we know he could play, but injury-wise, nobody wanted him, right? Who else wanted Corey Brewer? Like, who wanted Lou Williams? Like, he's playing on the Lakers before that. Who, you know what I'm saying? Who wanted a lot of these guys? Not Terrence Jones.
They'd be good bench players, but
yeah, that'd be good bench players. They wouldn't be getting the minutes and the production they're getting anywhere else but here. Now, credit the D'Antoni system because honestly, it was like the perfect storm. The perfect coach with the perfect player at the perfect time came together, and now we have this monster inside Houston, and it looks great. But I personally would pick Harden, even though Russell, he should get the MVP because of the triple double. It's historic. I get it, but the fact your team's a 6 seed, I don't want to give it to you. And like, mind you, he has to get these triple doubles in order for him to be competitive. But it's like you don't make your team better, and they obviously have no confidence in themselves because they're giving you the ball, and they know you have to go supernova every night just to stand a chance.
Well, the only reason why they were even in the actual playoffs is the Thunder wise is because Russell Westbrook made that team.
True. He is the team. He is Oklahoma City. But you got to stand the question is, how much of this losing can he actually take, and who's actually going to want to come to Oklahoma City? Because as we know in recent history, Oklahoma City doesn't get free agents. They draft players and they develop them. Like, they looked up on almost they have 3 potential MVPs that used to play for that team. Kevin Durant, MVP, used to play for them. James Harden, possible MVP, used to play for them. And Russell Westbrook, possible MVP, still plays for them. Like, you can't. Who lucks up on 3 good players like that and only has one of them now? Like, when have we ever heard of that? Like, a team with 3 possible MVPs at some point in their career used to all play for the same team. Like, they don't sign free agents. It's a small market team. You draft in Oklahoma City. Shout out to, Sam Presti for drafting guys because he's done a good job because Reggie easy get drafted, Reggie Jackson, a couple other guys who turned out to be pretty okay.
You gotta understand all this too. Like, I honestly think, because think about it, he had to do all this while at the same time he lost remember, the Thunder lost Kevin Durant. They built a team around him. It wasn't the Westbrook show. It was the Durant show.
But you also, true, they did build a team around him. But you still got to get credit where credit is due. And also you got to kind of blame him at the same time. I felt like if they would have signed James Harden, right, and moved James Harden to the 1, because he did play some 1 in that 2012 NBA Finals? Yeah. They had him at the 1 that year at some points. I felt like you let Serge Ibaka go because you can replace that. What he did, his service at the time, mind you, Serge Ibaka was a really good player at the time. Hindsight's only 2020, but I feel like you can replace that. I feel like you can get rid of him, get something for him, and you rock out with those 3 because those 3 guys are once in a generation. You don't get those guys all the time. You can find a Serge Ibaka. You can find him in the draft. You can sign him in free agency. You can't sign a James Harden. You can't find another James Harden. I feel like that's irreplaceable. I wouldn't trade him. I would try to trade Ibaka and sign that extension and keep him there and play it out. I felt like that would have worked out in their favor a lot better, personally.
Yeah, I agree with you.
All right, so
I mean, I can see how Harden can be MVP. I saw a lot of Brockett games as well.
Yeah.
And that dude just turns it up when needed. I saw this game against the Cavs, and that dude was on fire.
Exactly. So that's why I feel like it's close. I mean, no disrespect. I would love to throw Kawhi Leonard in there, but those 2 are just having that.
Leonard's going to be an MVP sooner or later.
Yeah. But all right, so let's go Memphis, San Antonio, which I'm surprised at. I thought San Antonio would have had it, but you can never count Memphis out.
Well, it's also because Vince Carter's there.
Yeah. Man.
How is he playing so well at this age? How is he doing it?
I don't know who his trainer is, what he's been doing, but the fact that we remember Vince Carter when he used to jump out the gym, and the fact he's turned his game into a jump shooter and lasted this long is just like it's crazy. He's like going back in the time machine and just like put great numbers out. And I'm pretty sure he's been saving himself for the playoffs. Like, he knew Memphis was making the playoffs. So now
Vince Carter is the man, for real. Yeah, I like Vince Carter.
Shout out to Vince Carter for putting out these numbers.
I'm actually pulling for Memphis a little bit because I want Carter to finally get his ring. He deserves it.
Well, listen, as much as I love Memphis and as much as I love the front court of Zebo and Marc Gasol, I'm not going to live in this fictitious world where I think Memphis is going to knock off San Antonio, then knock off Houston, and then beat Golden State, and then beat the Cavs. I'm like, this is not 2K. As much as I would love to see that, this is not 2K. Mike Conley is a great point guard. Don't get me wrong.
I can't get over that Vince Carter is actually a starter for this team.
Well, it makes sense.
At 40 years old, this guy is still starting and rocking it. Like Steve Nash couldn't even hold himself after his last couple of years.
Well, it's different injuries. Like Vince Carter, he didn't have a whole lot of injuries, and
yeah, he did.
Well, he had, but he had to change his game. And Steve Nash never changed his game, if you think about it. And he's always had back issues, and they only got worse as the years went on.
I know back issues suck, especially knee. And I think didn't Vince Carter have a knee issue?
Yeah, especially because he was he played a really athletic game, so he had to change his game in order.
Yeah, I mean he wasn't like Penny Hardaway 2.0 or anything, but
no,
which I'm scared that Jabari Parker has.
Man, I still feel the type way about that.
Like I feel bad for it because that kid has so much potential, and it's like.
But I feel like they're playing in the wrong position on the team. He's not a forward. He's not a forward. He's never been a
shooting guard. He's always been a shooting guard.
So my thing is, right? If you're good, let's be honest. I know we keep going back to the Bucks, but not as well. If you're gonna,
because it's such an interesting team.
Yeah, it is. Like, they have all the potential in the world. Like, I'm about to actually... All right, let's go look at the team right now. I'm about to go look them up on Basketball Reference.
Which is why I'm not really a big fan of Giannis being a point guard, because it's kind of like, okay, then what was the point of... And Brock didn't show so much promise. Giannis should be a small forward.
He should, but he's not the quintessential small forward, so we know that.
Well, because he can't develop a long jumper.
He can. He's not necessarily with the right coach to do it because, Jason Kidd never necessarily had the best jumper in the world.
Oh, my. Can you imagine him with Steve Kerr?
Oh, man. I'm telling you, he's a poor man's Kevin Durant. Let's be real. He has all the physical tools to be like Kevin Durant, just better. Like, I seen it there. I was like, yo, this guy's 6'11". Like his physical attributes are like Kevin Durant. He just doesn't have the jump shot that Kevin Durant does.
But Jason is a very good coach for the Bucks, and he has been developing Giannis well, though.
Yeah, he has. I cannot knock that. So we have Tony Snell, John Henson, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Spencer Hawes, Jabari Parker, Rashad Vaughn, Chris Middleton, Greg Monroe, Michael Beasley. Oh wow, I didn't know he was on the team. Myriz, I don't even know how to pronounce this guy's name. Matthew Dellavedova, Thon Maker, Michael Brogdon, Jason Terry, Gary Payton II. So looking at that team, that is a pretty long team. So if I am starting a starting lineup, I definitely want Thon Maker in there as a 6-man or maybe starter, or have Greg Monroe, the next big guy coming off. Chris Middleton at the 2, he's 6'8". Giannis at the 4, maybe 3. Actually, Jabari at the 3, Giannis at the 4. I can use Giannis as a stretch 4. You can use him as a stretch 4, playing with Thon Maker. There's a couple different lineups you can use with this team.
I honestly think Thon Maker, that guy, I don't know, he is a few. I honestly wanted him to ride the bench this year, and
I wanted him in the D League, honestly, because do they own a D League team?
Actually, we're building something in Oshkosh right now.
Yeah, because if you guys had a D League team, I would just
we're officially doing it. We just broke ground. They're building an entire arena for the D League team.
Oh, cool! Because I know Miami has their D League team is just their D League team. They send guys down, develop them. It's the same offense and everything. If you guys develop a farming system where you got guys in the D League, same offense, same everything, on the same page, bring guys up. And if you guys send a guy down and just work on certain aspects of his game, it works wonders in the long run. It really does. I feel like that would be very helpful to the team. and do wonders personally. But
Jay has entered the cycle.
oh, okay. So we're on time.
Welcome back, Jay.
Thanks, guys. I mean, hey, that was so cool. It kind of reminds me of a show we did back in 2015.
Yeah, never forget 2015. R.I.P.
Yeah.
2000.
But you know what's
AKA,
really
we love
cool?
our basketball.
I'm going to give you guys a basketball show then.
Nice.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
should, because
You guys are going to have the Cyclone basketball show. You guys are going to have it.
Nice. All right.
me
So
and Deb could talk about basketball for hours, honestly.
yeah. Wait. Did we miss anybody? Oh, Cavs, Indiana. Thoughts on that? Last thing.
Well, you know
before
what?
we get out of here.
I'm gonna let you guys go ahead and wrap that up.
Okay, so
yeah,
with
this-
the Cavs and Indiana, your thoughts first.
My thoughts on that is one, terrible defense by Indiana the entire series. Jeff Teague is not the answer at point guard. Honestly, from game 1 to game 4, every time there was a switch and it was Jeff Teague's man, it was a switch on off the pick and roll. They see Jeff Teague, they're abusing that, cutting straight to the basket, no help, easy buckets every time. Paul George, great player, needs to leave. Lance Stevenson, great, but they're playing him like they did Rondo in 2008. Underneath screens, allow him to get to the basket, give up the jump shot because they know he's not taking it. So in my opinion, it's an okay team. They don't have enough star power. Paul George needs to get out of there at some point because it's not working. And either blow it up or try to land a star inside free agency, which doesn't happen too often for Indiana. So, and you can't wait for Miles Turner to develop. It's I don't know. I don't see it working because they can't get past the Cavs. Like they can't get out of the first round, and they're barely getting like a 7 seed. Like they barely made it. Like Miami could have easily have been in their spot if they didn't fall apart.
In my opinion, Miami should have been that 7 seed.
I will give credit to Miami. Miami has done a awesome job of developing their players. Like, awesome job. Shout out to the Miami Heat and Pat Riley and the guys that are doing over there. Like, they have a really great system from their D League on up. Like, very great team.
Miami's going to be a contender in like probably a year or two. For Indiana, is there any development with any? No, it's the same Indiana Pacers team that we saw like 3 years ago.
Yeah, it's just diminished now. It's like when they had that team with Roy Hibbert and all those guys, you saw a championship window possibly. Now, with a lot of those guys lost and Lance Stevenson leaving, they're trying to get some money and that didn't work out. Now he's back. Like, it's just the same team with just lesser talent. And if I'm Paul George, I'm seeing the writing on the wall. I'm not staying. I think Larry Bird sees the writing on the wall. Like, I wouldn't stay, personally. I wouldn't stay. There's no reason to stay. Like, I think you gotta.
Without Paul George, that team's going to be lucky to crack 21s.
They're going to be an automatic lottery team. Let's be honest, because.
And they should.
If you
they
look
need
at
to rebuild.
If you look at Miami, they were projected to be a lottery team, and they almost made a spot. Now, if I'm Miami, I kind of want to develop talent, but at the same time, also like tank a little bit because this is a good draft this year. They get the right guy, like a playmaker, because let's look at it this way. What's his name? Hassan Whiteside. He isn't the quintessential star you want leading your team or your locker room. Let's be honest. He's a stat chaser.
Who?
Hassan Whiteside.
Yeah.
He's a stat chaser. Let's be honest. And he's telling you, I don't see a lot of guys getting triple doubles with blocks. Come on.
There is a lot for the Pacers. I don't even know what to make. Jay, do you know?
What, the Indiana Pacers? No.
Yeah. What do you make of this? Like,
I can't make anything out of it.
This is a team that's been puzzling for years.
No, not for years, but I think they're more exposed now.
Okay, if you're Larry Bird, what do? You have Paul George, he can opt out this year. You have a developing Miles Turner, Monte Ellis Porter disappearing. Jeff Teague isn't the answer at point guard because he doesn't play enough defense in playoff time. Miles Turner? CJ Miles is okay. You got a bunch of guys coming off the bench who are okay. But outside of Paul George and a young Miles Turner, what do you really have?
I would say Lance Stevenson's pretty good.
He's okay in spurts, but like they got him late in the season, he wasn't really in basketball shape.
He was a free agent for months.
That's what I'm saying. He wasn't in basketball shape.
I mean, I don't even know what to make of this team, honestly. And Like, you know what? Yeah, Lance Stevenson was a free. You should have signed him immediately. That was stupid.
Well, think about it. What I don't know. They should have signed him earlier. He was a free agent.
They
for a
shouldn't
while.
have let him go to begin with.
He left on his own. They signed him to
They didn't even give him an offer.
No, they gave him an offer.
Oh, did they?
They gave him a 5-year. Yeah, they gave him a 5-year. Was it $68 million extension or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
And he turned it down to go test the free agent waters to try to make. He felt like he was worth more.
$10 million a year is enough.
Well, I would have taken that $10 million though, but see, it's okay to know your self-worth, but he just
signed for $1 million.
Yeah, he just wanted more.
I mean, I used to play basketball in high school, so yeah. Lance Stevenson wasn't really that great. He actually sucked during his last year with the Pacers.
He had a good run in the playoffs. I still think his jump shooting was too erratic. He went to Charlotte. It was terrible. Let's be honest. He was terrible. It was horrible.
It was pretty terrible.
And then it all went downhill from there. Lance Stevenson, and I don't know why guys didn't see this before, he's a system player. He needs the right system, right placement, so he can utilize his talent to the fullest. He's
you know what? If the Cavs and the Warriors face off, you know what the Warriors should do? I'm being brutally honest. You know what the Warriors should do?
What should they do?
If he's in shape, sign Deshaun Stevenson.
Really?
Yes. That dude knows how to get under LeBron's skin. I'm not even lying. That guy, remember the
interesting
Maverick?
choice, but isn't it too late to sign guys?
He's a free agent. He's been a free agent.
Oh yeah, they can get him
Yeah,
anytime.
but is it too late? But is it too late to sign guys? Free agency?
No, I don't think so.
No, not at all.
Is it?
No.
Unless I'm misinformed. No, it's not.
Nope.
He hasn't been in the league for 2 years. If he's in game shape, I'd sign him because he would get in LeBron's head.
Yeah, and we'll really see something then. But we're getting close to the wire, guys, so let me go ahead and address the Legion. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you have gotten your taste of the soon-to-be Cyclone basketball show. There will be a little bit more to come from this revival, and so far so good. We have more to cover on the NBA playoffs, and as of right now, the Rockets have advanced, and I think the Bucks have advanced too, I think. But I do know the Rockets have won. That's all for now. This is J360 signing off.